Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome. It's Mara Mayo, and I am your illustrious host of this e-course. I'm very excited. It's my very first one, and I'm happy to share the information for you. So we're going to dive right in. We're trying to make these nice, short, and digestible for you so you can watch it on your lunch or your brunch or whatever you got going on. So please enjoy, and I would love your feedback. If there's any other things that you want me to go, I want you to know that I'm also going to be, oh my goodness, can you tell I'm nervous? I'm going to slow it down. I am reading off of a teleprompter right here. So you're going to see my eye contact like get a little wonky, okay? And this is not my bra. It's just a little, I'm trying. Done is better than perfect, right? So let's go ahead and just jump right in, and welcome. I'm sorry if I'm spitting all over you. It's gonna slow it down. So, okay, let's be clear about something right out of the gate, okay? Etiquette is not about forks. It's not about balancing a teacup on your pinky or memorizing which plate is for the salad. That's totally outdated, okay? Etiquette today is about power. It's about perception. It's about how you walk into the room and how you show up online and how you leave people feeling after you leave. That's it. So now here's the thing. Nobody is teaching this anymore. Gen Z is getting roasted on TikTok for showing up at jobs in club dresses. Millennials are burning bridges in their emails without even realizing it. And some of y'all are still out here thinking that ghosting is an acceptable form of communication. It's not. So what we're going to do together is we're going to get you socially savvy, updated, modern, and magnetic. Okay, we're going to cover what makes a killer first impression, how to master modern charisma, aka the Riz if you're on TikTok, and how not to embarrass yourself at a dinner table, how to handle digital etiquette, and how to walk out of any situation with grace. So if you want jobs, dates, respect, this is going to be your cheat code. And the good news, it's actually fun, and you can use this everywhere, starting after this this course, from your LinkedIn to first dates to your next Zoom meeting. Okay, so does that sound good? All right, let's get into it. First module. Hang on. Are we doing that? Stop. We're gonna stop there. Okay, so what we're talking about in module 1 is that first impressions are currency, okay? Your first impression is like a credit score. It's easy to damage and hard to rebuild. You've probably heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. Well, it turns out that's not just a cute phrase. It's actually neuroscience. And people make snap judgments about you in 3 seconds. 3. Pardon me. And most of the time, they stick to it. So let's talk about the 3-second rule, okay? Ready? Eye contact, micro smile, stance. That's your holy trinity. Now we're gonna stop here because we're gonna go into cues and charisma, like a whole another course on that. But the one thing you wanna make sure with that micro smile, that you are micro smiling with your eyes too. If you only smile with your lips, they're gonna register it as fake. Look at this. Micro smile versus, right? Always make sure you're engaging your crow's feet. This is for the over 40 people, okay? So let's get this back and going. So the holy trinity. Eye contact does not mean staring somebody down like you're about to fight them. It means 2 to 3 seconds of actual connection before looking away, okay? Just long enough for them to feel like you're present, that you saw them and that you're not just dusting past them, right? So a micro smile, not a creepy Joker grin like we were just talking about, just a slight upturn that says, I'm approachable, I'm confident, and I don't hate being here. Remember, engage those crow's feet. And then your stance, right? Shoulders back, chin neutral, phone down. If you walk into a room hunched over staring at your screen and you just told everybody that you're insecure or uninterested, neither one of these are good. So now let's talk about digital, okay? Because in 2025, your first impression happens online before it ever happens in person, okay? Your LinkedIn headline, that's your handshake. If yours says open to work, I need you to know something. You just told me, hang on, I'm going to pause it here because I've read this. If yours says open to work, I need to know something. You just told me that you don't know what you're good at yet. Oh, okay, got it. Instead, it should scream your value. Heard, chef. So not open to work, like blah, 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 I'll just take whatever falls into my lap. Now I understand it. So try creative problem solver in hospitality design or helping brands connect through storytelling. That's a headline, pardon me. And then your Zoom background, that's your cologne. It either makes you look intentional or it makes you stink of chaos. I love that they said that because, you know, as I travel like this is just with thumbtacks. That's like my hat I take to the farmer's market, right? But because I don't like a blank wall wherever I'm traveling, right? I have little things, little pieces of grass or little tapestries that I can make wherever I'm at if it's not up to like what I like, right? I just like having something visual. I went to art school. It's okay to make things look pretty, okay? So definitely make sure that these Zoom meetings or whatever, just make it look like you said, intentional, like you cared. Pardon me. So if you're still taking meetings in front of your laundry pile, you're sabotaging yourself. I suppose people do that. So your profile picture, I don't mean to judge if you do. So your profile picture, right? That is your outfit to the world. If it's blurry, if it's cropped from some group shot or taken in 2009, it's time for an upgrade. People should be able to tell in one glance that you're professional, that you're modern, and that you are awake to this decade. So here's a fun test. Go look at your Instagram bio and your LinkedIn headline. Do they match? If your LinkedIn says open to work and your Instagram says CEO, guess what? Nobody believes it either. Our first impressions are currency. And if you're broke in this department, it is costing you opportunities. Okay, so welcome to Module 2. It's the new polite, Riz, respect, and receipts. Okay, so let's talk about charisma. Or as the kids on TikTok say, rebranded it, the Riz. So Riz is just charisma and sneakers, okay? It's charm with memes, and it's powerful because people are out here losing jobs, losing clients, and losing dates simply because they don't understand the difference between confidence and cocky. So let's talk about real Riz, okay? Let's get this going. So here's the first rule. Flirt like HR is in the room. You can absolutely, that's a really good one. I've scanned through it because we went through with all of my, like we took all of my words and then put it all in here, but sometimes it's cool how it put it. I was like, I would totally say that. So flirt like HR is in the room. You can absolutely be charismatic and playful, but it should never feel like someone's dignity is on the line. So compliment their vibe, not their body. Say you've got great energy, or you have a way of making people comfortable, right? That's Riz. Saying, damn, you look hot in that skirt. That is harassment seminar waiting to happen. Okay? So second is respect is Riz's twin. You can't have charisma if you don't have respect. If you talk over people, you cut them off, or dismiss their ideas, no amount of charm is going to save you. Respect is in the listening, in giving someone space to finish their thought, in remembering the details that you told them last week. And then we get to receipts, right? This is where modern etiquette really comes alive, because in 2025, 26, whenever you watch this, receipts are everywhere. Emails, screenshots, text threads. Every word you put into writing can either protect you or haunt you. So here's the etiquette, okay? Keep proof, but don't weaponize it. If you're in a work dispute, those emails might save your career. But if you're out here screenshotting private DMs and blasting them for clout, that's really tacky. Right? That's bad manners. That's the opposite of classy. So let me tell you something. If you don't want it read in a courtroom, don't type it. Period. And here's a quick TikTok-worthy truth bomb. Your Riz is canceled if you still tell people to smile more. That's not charisma. That's control. Now, think about the last time you met somebody who had an effortless presence. They didn't have just charm. They made you feel seen and then respected your boundaries. and then they left no weird digital footprint. That's what makes them magnetic, right? That's modern etiquette. When we say respect, and receipts, that's not slang. That's survival for the modern social world. And once you master it, you can stand out into every room that you walk in. Welcome back to your module 3. So, table stakes, dining etiquette. All right, let's talk about the dinner table, okay? Let's go ahead and get this prompter on, because this is where people accidentally expose themselves. I don't care if it's a date, a job, an interview, or a brunch with the in-laws. The way you handle food tells people way more about you than you realize. Okay, so here's the good news. You don't have to know 15 forks and 10 wine glasses, okay? We're not living in a Downton Abbey episode, but you do need to understand the basics of modern dining etiquette. So let's start with ordering. Golden rule, never order the most expensive thing on the menu if you're not the one paying, okay? If your host says, order whatever you want, you still don't test the waters with the $75 lobster tower. That's not confidence. That's greed in a cocktail dress, okay? So let's talk napkins. The napkin belongs in your lap, not tucked into your shirt like a bib. You're not 3 years old at a spaghetti dinner, right? When you're done, don't crumple it like a tissue. Fold it neatly and place it beside your plate. That little move says, I was raised right, even if the truth is, you taught yourself 5 minutes ago on YouTube. Cutlery, easy cheat code. Start from the outside and work your way in. If you're looking at the table and you feel panic rising, remember, outside in. Boom, CEO level dining. And it really is true, because all of your, and I'm just gonna stop it, because people are like, is that right? And it's like, yes, they're gonna bring a course, and when you get the first course, whatever's on the outside of it, that's what you're gonna use for it. And then they're gonna pick that up, and we'll do a whole big thing with table manners for the fine dining service, right? But then they'll go ahead and they'll take it, and then they'll bring, the next course, and then the next course is that. And then, so your dessert spoon actually will be up top, depending, right? Can't remember now. It's been so long. But I believe the dessert spoon is up there, maybe it's not. But anyways, you get to where basically you have no more meals, and then you have no more silverware, if that makes sense. So moving right along. So, now, wings and messy food. If you're at a business dinner, you should not be wrist deep in barbecue sauce. That is not the vibe. Use a fork or order something manageable. If it's a casual date, get messy, but have a napkin handy. Nobody wants to see you licking sauce off of your hands like a raccoon. Okay, drinks. Let's go there. 1 drink max in a business setting. That's it. You're not auditioning for The Hangover, okay? And in a social setting or a dating setting, sure, enjoy yourself, but pace it. I always like to drink a glass of water in between a drink. Nobody ever said, wow, I loved how sloppy they got on our first meeting. Okay, and now glassware. Quick pro move. Water glasses are wide, wine glasses are tall and skinny. Champagne flutes are the tallest and the skinniest, okay? If all else fails, just watch what the host does. Copying is better than chaos. And then here's my favorite personal rule. Do not be the first one to finish, and do not be the last one still nibbling at crumbs, okay? You need to match the pace of everyone else. If you finish way too fast, you looked rushed and nervous. And if you're the last one, everybody's waiting on you, and that's not the kind of attention you want. So you want to stay in the middle somewhere. Okay, so here's a story. I went once to dinner with someone who ordered lobster and steak while I was there, and I was trying to keep it there simple with the salad. This is not what I told you. That order screamed entitlement. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I did not. I was like, they got my story right? No, never mind. But it is a story of basically where you want to, it's matching the pace, matching the vibe. Like if you're going to a brunch or something like that, right? You're not ordering, again, the lobster tower and the this, that, and the other when everybody's getting salads, right? And it's not to say that you can't eat what you want, but it's also reading the room, right? It's like maybe people are trying to keep it light because you're walking, whatever, and it's like everybody's ordered, the quiche and the this, that, and the other, and you're like, can I order off the dinner menu and like get like the pasta, whatever? It's not the fact that you're eating, it's that you're not you're not in the vibe, right? So I'm gonna go with that because he kind of butchered my story here. I was like, I should have checked that. There's ChatGPT for you. So here's your TikTok worthy takeaway, okay? You don't need to know about 20 forks, okay? You just need to start from the outside and work your way in. That's it. That's your cheat code, okay? Okay, welcome to module number 4, okay, which is digital decorum. So let's be honest, most of your reputation doesn't even live in person anymore. It lives online, right? The way you text, the way you email, the way you show up on Zoom, that is your brand. So let's talk about digital etiquette, 2005 style or 2006. First up, response times, okay? Text messages, a few hours is fine. You don't need to answer instantly, right? But if you're consistently taking days, you're not busy, you're just rude, okay? Emails, within 24 hours, even if it's just a thanks for this, I'll get back to you by Thursday, right? Silence is sloppy. DMs, this one is flexible. When it comes to DMs. If it's personal, then you answer when your energy allows. And if it's business, do not ghost, right? A professional DM is just as real as an email. So let's move on into meetings. You've got your hybrids, you've got remote, you've got in office, doesn't matter. The rules are the same. Okay, if your camera is off in every meeting and you look like a ghost employee, well, excuse me, if your camera is off every meeting, you look like a ghost employee. Excuse me. One meeting, fine. But if no one has seen your face in 3 months, don't be surprised when they forget that you exist. Ooh, pardon me. So mic etiquette. Your mute button is your love language, okay? Nobody needs to hear you crunching on your chips, your dog barking, or your toddler having a meltdown in the background, okay? Hit the mute. And let's talk about Zoom presence. Your camera angle matters. If we are staring up into your nostrils or at your ceiling fan, you're doing it wrong, okay? Eye level camera, good lighting, neutral background, right? Boom, instant upgrade. So now let's deal with the really big one, which is ghosting. And ghosting isn't just being rude in dating, it's rude in business too. If someone sends you a pitch or an invite or even a compliment, acknowledge it. You don't have to say yes, but you do have to say something. A simple, thanks for thinking of me. I'll pass this, or thanks for thinking of me. I'll pass this time goes a long way. Oh, you don't have to say yes. Oh, okay, gotcha. If you get a pitch, sorry, I just got into the reading. It's like, you don't have to say yes to the pitch, but you do have to say something, okay? So a simple, thank you for thinking of me, but I'll pass this time. We wanna get the right inflection on the correct syllable. I know how to say it. So ignoring people burns bridges that you don't even know you might need later, okay? So here's a quick story. I knew someone who was amazing at their job, really talented, but every meeting, their camera was off, okay? Every email, they took 3 days to respond. Every DM left on red. So when the promotion came around, guess who got skipped? Right? The invisible one, because here's the truth. You can't get rewarded for work that nobody sees. Something you have to really learn in the restaurant business, and especially like real estate and commission. Yeah. So here's a TikTok worthy truth bomb for you, okay? You wouldn't walk into a boardroom without pants. So stop showing up to meetings with your mic hot while you're eating Doritos, okay? Digital etiquette is not about being perfect. Okay, it's about being intentional. You don't have to be glued to your phone, but you do need to, you don't need to be glued to your phone, but you do need to communicate like a professional because online presence is real presence, okay? Okay, so for module 5, we are gonna hone in on your social savvy superpowers, okay? So you've learned to make a killer first impression, you've mastered the riz and the respect, you can handle yourself at a dinner table, and you won't get caught ghosting on Zoom. Okay, so let's talk about the superpowers of social savvy, the moves that separate the good from the unforgettable. Right? I'm talking to anybody that wants to stand out. So first up, the graceful exit. Exiting is an art form, okay? And most people they're terrible at it. They either cling too long or they vanish without a trace. Right? And neither works. In a conversation at a networking event, the polite exit is a simple, this has been so great chatting with you. I'm gonna let you mingle and I'd love to connect again. right? That's classy, it's clear and respectful. On Zoom, don't Irish exit. I know it's tempting to just hit leave meeting and disappear, but that's sloppy. Instead, say, thank you everyone, I'll hop off here, looking forward to the next steps. 30 seconds of intention leaves such a lasting mark, especially when we talk about, I love to talk about contrast. You want to really make it's not that you're doing this intentionally, it's actually just doing it and making a daily practice and cultivating that makes everybody else look so much, I mean, that's how you can really, bridge the gap or excuse me, not bridge the gap, but make the gap bigger between you and other people, maybe that's up for a promotion or something along those lines. So on a date, don't ghost. Don't disappear. It's rude, especially, but even if you never want to see them again, say, thank you for your time tonight. I don't think we're a match, but I wish you well, right? It's grown up, it's rare, and it builds character. It's definitely something that I've learned to do the hard things, because I used to avoid all sorts of things. And in business, you can't do that. And you never know. But towns are small, aviation is small, all of these things. And it's like, oh, I would never want to run into someone that I ghosted, at a business meeting. You know what I mean? No. So your next superpower is your compliment alchemy, okay? So most people throw out compliments like, you look nice. That's weak, right? Total weak sauce. The secret, double compliments. One for the outfit, one for the energy. These are simple things you can remember. Remember, chin up, head back, eye contact, that little things that you can implement today. So one for the outfit, one for the energy. Try this. That color looks great on you and you always bring such good energy into the room. What? Now you've just hit style and spirit, right? That's unforgettable. And let's talk about the thank you, right? This is the ultimate power move in the 2025 and going forward. Everyone thinks that gratitude is outdated, but it's not. It's underused, which makes it powerful. Have you ever listened to Gary Vee, okay? Handwritten thank you notes, rare. They stand out. I use this in my real estate business and it took off. I got them with a business coach, Brian Buffini, 20 some odd years ago. And when I started writing started out with 5 handwritten notes a day and then went to 10, my business blew up and I got into luxury and all the good things. Okay. So let's see here. Handwritten notes, big deal. I mean, then you get to pick out the stamps for them. I really loved it. So a thank you text, that's good. A voice note, excellent. It feels modern, personal, and thoughtful, and you don't have to go in full makeup, right? A video thank you, next level, okay? That's the one people replay and remember. I had a client who didn't just land an interview. They landed the job because they followed up with a simple thank you gift basket that matched the company's style, right? Paying attention. The hiring manager told me later, honestly, that sealed the deal, right? Everybody else was qualified, but only one person was thoughtful. And it wasn't just I just got you an edible, right? It was they knew the theme and the colors and everything like that, merch, really went above and beyond. But the cool thing about it is they already had the basket waiting, right? They'd already had it ordered. So it was bam, right? It was thoughtful, right? We're talking about being the emotional EQ. Let me not get off. Let me not get off the topic. So here's your TikTok takeaway, okay? And I'm just saying because they're like Tic Tacs, right? TikTok takeaways, because we're trying to get the kids, and everybody needs the Riz, right? So the thank you note is your ultimate secret weapon, okay? It's rare, it's classy, and it works. And here's the final superpower, making people feel seen. Right? At the end of the day, social savvy isn't about rules. It's about connection. It's about the way people talk. It's about the way people walk away from you thinking, damn, I felt good about being around them. Do you want to be unforgettable? Don't just be impressive. Be kind. Be attentive. Be gracious, right? That's social savvy at its highest level. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll catch you on the outro, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this on home, okay? So we've covered a lot, right? First impressions, the Riz, your dining etiquette, digital decorum, and the social savvy superpowers that make you unforgettable, especially in the business world. So if there's one thing that I want you to walk away with, it's this. Etiquette is not about forks. It's about influence. It's about the way you show up, the way you leave people feeling, right? And the way that you respect yourself and others in every setting, right? From the boardroom to brunch to a first date. That's what you learn in aviation. I treat the billionaires just as well as I treat the janitors. and I treat them the same, right? And here's the truth. People do not remember your resume, okay? They remember your energy, right? They don't remember your exact words. They remember how you made them feel. Hello, Maya Angelou, right? And manners, modern, intentional, updated manners are how you shape that memory. So the next time someone rolls their eyes and says etiquette is dead, you tell them, no, it is not dead, right? It's just, it got a glow up, right? We're different from Emily Post. Now, and I love Emily Post, right? But before we wrap this up quickly, let's do a quick recap, okay? So your social savvy style. First impressions are currency. Do not waste them, okay? Riz and respect go hand in hand. Charisma without respect is creepy. Dining etiquette still matters. Even wings have rules. Your digital presence equals real presence. Don't ghost, don't mute, and don't vanish. And if you want me to help scrub your socials, I can help you do that, okay? Superpowers make you unforgettable, okay? Social superpower. Graceful, pardon me. Your superpowers that will make you unforgettable are graceful exits, thoughtful compliments, and your thank you notes are going to be the secret sauce, okay? So here's my final challenge to you, for you to pick one of these rules and put it into practice today, right? Compliment somebody's vibe, send a thank you note, clean your LinkedIn headline, whatever it is, just take one small action. How do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time, okay? Tiny, tiny increments. Because social savvy is not theory, it's actual practice, right? And remember, the way that you treat people is your resume, right? 360 degree, the way you handle yourself is your calling card. And your etiquette, that's your legacy. So thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to level up with me. And thank you for bringing a little more grace back into the world. So stay magnetic, stay modern, and stay socially savvy. Toodles, we'll catch you on the flip.